ladies and gentlemen, the Central Oregon Youth Orchestra, an impressive group of young people first brought together only in February, thanks to director Amy Goeser Kolb.
Everywhere I've lived in the world, there's been a youth orchestra program. And I thought, well, no time like the present. So last August 1st, I got to work, and 6 months later, we had our very first downbeat with 55 students.
From 6.5 to 18 years old, every one of these musicians had to audition their way into this new symphony, which boggles the minds of some of the more mature members.
Just some of the little kids being able to play an instrument when they shouldn't look like they'd be able to talk yet or walk around on their own.
And they're playing pretty well.
Yeah.
It's awesome seeing little kids play like that because you never really see any of them in high school, obviously, and then you go here and you know they exist, and then they start playing like that, and it's just ridiculous to watch. I wish I started playing that young.
You have kids from all these different schools, all these different towns, all these different backgrounds. They come from different families of different types of resources and things that are available to them. And it's that collective feeling that really fuels and infuses the energy in the room that for me is really inspiring to see and hear and watch and experience.
Playing with younger kids and then playing with kids that I've never met before but live in the same area as, and coming here for 2 hours a week and playing with them, it's amazing what we can accomplish.
Playing in a group, we get to understand the whole emotion of the song, and we get to put it together and basically make the idea that the composer gave to us.
Peter Lund from Sisters agrees.
It gets kind of boring when you go home and you nail stuff, like stuff you can't get, and you do it over and over if you really can't get it. That can get monotonous. And then when you're here, it's more fun. Everybody's together and you're playing together and you're like a team.
15-year-old cellist Caitlin Wolf already has learned lessons far beyond the band room.
To listen to the rest of the voices and learn how they correspond with your part, and definitely having the new directors and different directors is always nice, so that way you get a feel for each director and what they do and how they like things played.
Whether I'm a CEO someday, or I'm a math teacher, or I'm a FIAD teacher, or I'm a professional musician, that it's this feeling of the collective effort, it's that sum total of everybody trying to make it the best that they can be.
But besides the life's lessons being learned for today and beyond, this orchestra, barely 4 months old, is filled with the same spirit that drives even the greatest orchestras.
I'm creating something that sounds very beautiful. It just makes me feel good that I can be a part of that.
And John Hammarley joins me on the set. And John, I think what stuns me about that piece is the age range of these students is unbelievable.
I got in there, it was so great. I saw what I expected to see, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. And then on the first row of the violin section, here's the 6.5-year-old kid. His legs are dangling. I mean, his legs aren't even long enough to hit the floor. And he's playing away in the first row. It was really spectacular. And as I think we've seen in the piece, it's an audition-based, talent-based thing. Does make a difference how old you are, or how young you are.
Well, and what's shocking too, and I didn't even realize it until you did this piece, is that we didn't have a youth orchestra.
Amy was shocked.
Yeah.
She's traveled around the world. She's directed youth orchestras in Europe, all throughout the States. She came here, said, well, maybe I can help out. Went, what? Wait a second, there isn't one. And 6 months after she realized that, first downbeat.
I love it. She saw a need in the community and she rushed right into it.
That's
so
right.
Good job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Coming up, we're going to talk about Second Street Theater's Sunset Limited.